Welcome to episode 26, I believe, of the Blue Mouse Podcast. My name's Emily. I'm the full-time knitwear designer behind the Blue Mouse. You can find me under that same name on Instagram and Ravelry. So this is a knitting podcast with a little bit of focus on knitwear design. I don't have a whole lot to share this week. It seems to be I get one productive week and then followed by a week or two of being more sick and not feeling well, so getting less done, and that was this past week. If you've been following along for a while, you know that I've been in physical therapy for some pain I've been having since about the start of the year, and I just had my last appointment on Wednesday, at least the last one for a while. It's not doing anything, it's not helping, so we're on to just trying to find more doctors to talk to and finding new fixes. So I didn't get a whole lot done this week, but I have a few things to share, just kind of adding on to what I've been working on in the past couple weeks. So the first thing is just that really simple baby blanket I've been working on because my brother and sister-in-law are due on Monday. So I only have a couple more days to get this done, but I'm making good progress. I reached the halfway mark and started decreasing, so you can see that here. This is all the increase, and then I started decreasing, and I have about this much done on the decrease portion. So I'm about halfway done with the decrease portion, I'd say. So I should have this done by Monday. And yeah, who knows if I'll actually have the baby on Monday. You never quite know how that's gonna go, but it should be done in time and I can gift that. So the one thing I did get finished this week was a craggy shore sock. So I did finish one. I haven't blocked it or anything, but this is just the final product. Super pretty. I love this yarn. It is a homespun house in her April or May Lord of the Rings Club colorway. But I really like it, and I started the second one. I'm not very far, but I did start it. So that is the progress I have. I started those on the 4th of July, so it's good to have them done, or at least one of them done. And then, kind of the last thing I was working on, I just finished it today actually. Well, I just finished one sleeve today, so one more to go, is my Appenzell cardigan. So it's this one I shared last week, but it has a sleeve. And it has wide sleeves with very little decreasing. You decrease very slowly, and yeah, so it has wide cuffs, and I really like that, especially for this style. And if you have never used this trick for decreasing on sleeves, I put a little light bulb progress keeper every time I decrease, so I can count my decreases, and if I lose track of how many rows I have between my decreases, I can just count them from the last stitch marker. So that's a nice little handy little trick. And these are very cheap. You can get them on Etsy, probably on Amazon. They come in handy all the time. They're probably my most used progress marker. So that is really helpful if you're knitting sleeves. I think I was decreasing every 12th row, so there's a lot of rows in between, and it just makes it a lot easier to look back over. So I have one sleeve left to finish, and it's been a lot of back and forth with my tech editor over this pattern and the baby tune sweater, but I think we finally have it done, which I'm excited. So maybe today and tomorrow I'll go over those final edits and get them out to testers soon. I still have to finish the second sleeve so that I can grade the yardage on this one, but then it will be done. So that's very exciting to get those onto the next phase, because I have 2 patterns dropping in the next couple of weeks, and it'll be good to have a couple more in testing. So speaking of that, this sweater is my Urine Sweater, and it's just a very simple cropped sweater with a split hem, and you can work it in 2 colors or 1 if you prefer. It's written for 2, but one of my testers I saw today posted a photo of her 1 color version, and it looks really great. So I think she even did longer sleeves too, which is great. So there's lots of customizing that you could do, but it's very simple. It's top down, so you work from the shoulders down. So you do the fronts, join the fronts, and then you pick up the provisional cast on and work the backs. And I have drawn some helpful, hopefully like organized drawings. So I drew some little, I don't know, they're not schematics, but little drawings to kind of help make sense of the construction of this, because you do the fronts and then pick up and do the backs, and then you join in the round and work down. So it can be a little confusing if you've never done that before, but I've had several testers who have said they've never used that method before and they found it very easy. So I hope you will too. I'll put a coupon code in the show notes and probably in the description and comments. The pattern will not be out until Tuesday, but a lot of you I know watch this a little bit later, so that coupon code will be good for a few weeks after this podcast airs. So maybe just make a note of that if you're interested in the pattern. It is a more discounted code that you get here than you do on Instagram. So yeah, that will be out Monday, and Tuesday. I'm very excited about it. These patterns have just been in the works for what seems like forever, so it's nice to have them finally released in the wild. I'll have the Urine Sweater out, I believe, not next week, but the following. I think that's how it's gonna go. And then it should be a sock pattern, and then in September I'll have a couple more. So yeah, lots of fun things. And speaking of new designs, I actually found the sample of the sweater I was talking about that I'm gonna use Allie's yarn for. So it's gonna be made with this yarn here that I showed you a couple weeks ago that Allie sent me. Very pretty. It's showing up a little bluer on screen than it is in real life, but yeah, this is the sample I made last year. I haven't blocked it, so the turtleneck looks a little weird, but apart from that, this was the sample that I had. It has the lace sleeves, and then it has a texture all over the body. I don't know how well you can see that. And then the lace sleeves. So I'm going to be reworking that one probably in a couple weeks. I still have some other things to finish up before I can work on this one. But yeah, I'm very excited about that. It was fun to find this sample and remember how much I love this design, and it gave me more motivation to finish it. So that will be a year later than I started the design, but that'll be a fun one. Other than that, I want to thank anyone who bought some of my de-stash yarn. It is such a nice thing to be able to reorganize my stash and get rid of yarn that I won't use and know that it's going to a place where it will get used. So you guys almost cleared me out. I still have probably about 5 sets of yarn, so either some of them are single skeins, some of them are 2, and I do have, I think, 1 sweater's quantity left. So yeah, if you're interested, I have them in my highlights on my Instagram, and I also have them for sale on Ravelry. So if you're interested in some de-stash yarn, I have it there. But it felt so nice to have a clean studio. I reorganized a lot of my yarn in the cubbies and sent out about 15 packages of yarn to you guys this week. So it's been very freeing to get rid of that and open up space and in my studio, and it just kind of almost feels like a fresh start. Even though I still have a ton of yarn, it's definitely lessened how much I have, and it frees up some design brain space, I guess, if that makes sense. So yeah, it just puts everything I want to work on right out in the open. It's very, very nice. So I know that was a very, very short episode. Hoping to have more to share with you next week. I'm also potentially getting rid of some of my samples. I'm trying to pawn them off to friends of mine who might want them, but if they don't, I'll probably just sell them at like a heavily discounted rate because I don't have room for them. I just make too many samples, and I am keeping only what I will probably wear a lot. So the samples I have from like a year ago, I'm getting rid of a lot of them because I really just want a cleaner, more open studio space. So yeah, I think this weekend will be filled with lots of editing those couple patterns that are almost ready to be put out to testers, and then editing and finalizing this sweater before I get it out to you guys on Tuesday. I might run up to my parents and do a little bit of sewing. Last Saturday, my mom and I spent pretty much the entire day on Saturday sewing, and I'm almost done with my jumpsuit. I'm really excited about that. I've never made something so advanced as that. Even though it's written on the pattern page, it says it's for like an advanced beginner. It does feel a little bit more than that to me. It feels like a real accomplishment. So everything is done except for the tie, and I have to do the hemming of the like neckline and the legs and everything, which I don't really know how to do, but we have a rolled hem foot, if you know what that is, to hopefully make that easier. So yeah, I might go to my parents and finish that tomorrow and just hang out with my mom. So very busy weekend, hopefully getting a lot done. I'm excited about it, and I'm really excited about this pattern. I wish it was cooler out so I could wear it, and I can really only wear it inside where it's air conditioned. But yeah, it's a very fast and easy knit. It's in worsted weight and using a pretty big needle, so you could get it done very quickly. The body of this takes no time. Once you get to Sleeve Island, it might take you a little bit longer, but it shouldn't take you too long. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great weekend and have lots of time either in the sun, if that's what you're hoping to do, or plenty of knitting time. So have a great weekend.